Good morning, fourth grade. Today in lesson 9.2, our essential question is how can you record hundredths of fractions and decimals? We had been working on tenths and now we're going to move to hundredths. In the 2008 Summer Olympic Games, the winning time in the men's 100-meter butterfly race was only 1/100th second faster than the second place time. What decimal represents this fraction of a second? Circle the numbers you need to find. You can write hundredths as fractions or decimals. One way, use a model and place value. Shade 1/100th of the model. Well, assuming there are 100 squares, we're going to shade just one. And then it says, think, the model is divided into 100 equal parts. Each part represents 1/100th. So we shaded 1, and we write 1/100th as a fraction as 1/100. In the decimal part, it says complete the place value chart. 1/100th is 100/1 is 1/100th. 0 ones, 0 tenths, 1/100th. So we write it as a decimal as 0 represents our whole, then our decimal, 0 represents the number in the tenths place, and 1 represents the number in the 100th place. Another way to think of it is using a number line. Label the number line with equivalent decimals to locate 0.1 on the 100. So we start out at 0 and we go all the way to 1 whole, but we have to label 1/100th. If it's 0 here and 1 whole here, and it's 100 in between, the dot for 1/100th is the very first line. And after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, there's 10 or 1/10th, 1/20th, 1/30th, 1/40th, 50th, or 1/70th, 1/80th, 1/90th, and then 1 whole. 0 ones, 0 tens, 1/100ths, or 0.01 names the same amount as 1/100th. So the winning time was 0.01 second faster. That's like taking a second and splitting it up into 100 little chunks of time. Believe it or not, you can do that, and that's how much that race was won by. Alicia won her 400-meter freestyle race by 4/25 seconds. How can you write this mixed number as a decimal? Well, use a model and a place value chart. Shade the model to show 4/25 hundredths. So 4 complete boxes of 100 were shaded, and then 25 of the last box was shaded. We write 4/25 hundredths as 4.25, which equals 4/25 hundredths. We read it 4/25 hundredths. Complete the decimal place value chart. It says, look at the model above. 4/25 hundredths is 4 wholes and 2 tenths and 5 hundredths. So 4 ones, 2 tenths, and 5 hundredths. Write 4.25. Read 4/25 hundredths. Another way is to use a number line. Label the number line with the equivalent mixed numbers and decimals. Locate the 0.425 on the number line. 4.25 has to come after 4.1, 4.2, but in the middle of 4.2 and 4.3. so it's halfway in between 4.2 and 4.3. 4.25 lays right there. 4.25 names the same amount as 4 and 25th hundredths, so Alicia won her race by 4.25 seconds. On your share and show, it says shade the model to show 31 hundredths. This is our box of hundreds, and we would shade 3 rows for 10, 20, 30, and 1 square to represent that hundredth. We would put it in our decimal chart as 0 ones, 3 tenths, and 1 hundredths. Write the fraction or mixed number and the decimal shown by the model. Well, if you count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or 10 complete rows shaded with 8 in the next row shaded, you get 68 hundredths, or 0.68. In the next one, there are 100 squares in here, and there are only 8 of them shaded. So it's 8 over 100, or 0.08. This 0 represents the tenths. There's not even a complete row of 10 shaded, so there's a 0 there. And in the hundredth spot, there are 8. Now, on this one, we have to figure out what point the blue dot lands on. This is 6.0, this is 6.5, and this is 7. So this would be 6.0, 6.1, 6.2, but it's just behind 6.2. So if this is 6.0 and this is 6.1, 6.11, 6.12, 6.13, 6.14, 6.15, 6.16, 6.17, 6.18, 6.19, or 6 and 19 hundredths, or 6.19. And on your own, write the fraction or mixed number and the decimal shown by the model. This is 1 whole, and this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82, 83 hundredths. So 1 point, or 1 whole, over 83 hundredths, which in decimals is 1.83. And number 6 shows not quite the whole one shaded in, but there are 7 full rows of 10. So 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 75 over 100, or 0.75. Now on number 7, we have to figure out what number the blue dot lies on. 0, 0.5, or 1 whole. It's not quite 0.5, so this would be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, or 47 hundredths, or 0.47. On the practice and copy, it says write the fraction or mixed number as a decimal. 9 over 100 is 9 hundredths. 4 and 55 hundredths is 4.55. I'll let you do 10 through 13 on your own. Work on the problem solving and the sense or no nonsense problem, and then go to your PB book and complete 9.2 in your PB book. I'll email the answers to the PB book later today. Thank you.